Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are... Welcome to the Hangout. Happy Wednesday. Tom Gazzola, Sean Bell, Jasmine Sidhu with you inside the EST Global HQ Hangout Studios. The Hangout brought to you by Sentinel Storage. Text us 780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat. Hit that thumbs up. All that good stuff. We're back, baby. It's October. You can already feel the chill in the air, the smoke. I don't like it.
Don't care for this weather.
Yeah, I know.
October 1st.
But it's a cold, harsh reality, and we're in it together. So we got each other's backs.
Yeah. And I don't know about you guys, but was traffic insane this morning?
No, 107th Ave was pleasant.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went a completely different way.
Okay.
Because it was so backed up on the Henday.
Yeah, there was an accident actually.
Where in the Henday?
It was like just before exiting onto Stony Plain. But the thing is, there were 3 cars, and they were all the way to the sides. They weren't even like, there was no obstruction or nothing. People were just tripping.
And they were, by tripping, do you mean that they were rubbernecking? Or were they straight tripping?
They're straight tripping and they were rubbernecking. But the thing is, like, when you guys merge, you have so much time to merge. And they just start doing it right away to get onto Stony Plain.
Is the zipper merge a lost art? Just real quickly. I noticed it perfected to a T the other day. I was like, wow, everybody's zipper merging very well today.
You're so happy when you see it.
Yes,
me too.
We did it once. We did it. And everyone was waving and polite.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming was there a zipper merge, or was everybody just...
No, everybody was, like I said, they were tripping. Everybody's just trying to get in. It's like, guys, can you drive? Like, do the zipper. Ain't nobody's doing the zipper this morning. And then 50th Street, I was complaining about 50th Street and White Mud. I got to get this off my chest.
Get it off your chest.
I start work very early, and my goodness, I was backed up because they keep changing the lanes, and they keep closing the lanes.
Yeah.
And then everybody be tripping. So I knew I just wanted to get that off my chest. So clearly it's just me that had a day with the Henday. Yeah.
No. I'm holding this all in.
Let me
I'm
stop you there.
bottling it all
Let
in.
it out.
Go ahead.
All of it staying in.
Please, let's vent.
No. Like, it's just outrageous. I ended up taking, I think it was Lassard Road, and I went like down 178th to get here. And that was quicker than going the Henday because the Henday was so backed up.
Yeah.
We're going to leave it at that.
I was like, it's Halloween time.
I don't need this to affect my life.
You look very nice today.
Thank you.
So do you.
Thank you.
Too.
Yeah.
You know it's
you guys both
October.
look great.
When we can't
Yeah.
just like scrub it up wearing whatever like it's summer. Like my short shorts are gone. No t-shirt. Well, I'll still wear t-shirts, but like it feels as if we're at the point where it's time to get a little bit more professional because it's October and hockey season's starting, football season's winding down.
This is
I
true.
don't want it.
I know, and baseball's in the playoffs, and the NBA's in training camp. WNBA yesterday, it was the Aces. I was watching them against Indiana. They clinched. They're going to the WNBA final. That's great.
Would it be too much to ask for one more month of summer?
No, I think that's valid.
Now, I'm going to say that, but at the exact same time, I'm also going to say, man, the preseason, the last couple games, for game days, it's been outrageous. Like, what's been going on?
Like with the injuries?
Did you see the game against Montreal and Ottawa last
Yes.
night? How many fights were like? That was a scrappy
In
game.
Quebec City, of all places.
Maybe they got to go back to Quebec City to get some juice out of these guys.
Well, that was, I'll tell you what, the highlights were thoroughly entertaining.
Oh, I was having a great time watching them. And then Taves, just saw that one, like gross hit from behind. Like, It's been spicy the last couple days.
Pumpkin spice, as Bones said.
Don't you do that. There ain't no little white girl spice on there. No,
And then
don't
Bones
you do
adds-
that.
Bones adds, homegirl be tripping.
He gets it.
He gets it.
Yeah, I was just talking to the boys. I'm like, why is everybody getting so aggressive in preseason and like
It's
all these
amazing.
injuries, right? Yeah.
This has been the most spirited preseason, in my opinion, in the last few years.
Because we're ready. I'm ready. Finally, I am ready for the regular season. October 8th against the Flames.
1 week to go.
1 week to go.
So, okay, this hit on Taves was Ooh, who laid that on? Yakov Trenin, he plowed him into the boards.
Yeah, that was from behind.
And there was some of that in that Ottawa.
There may or may not have been a neck injury on there. Well, probably not, but the way that he falls into it, it looked like it'd been bad.
Welcome back to the league, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
3-time Cup champion.
Enjoy
Olympic
that.
gold medalist.
Trenin don't care.
He don't care. That's not good. Why is it getting so nasty in the preseason?
I don't know.
We're playing in the most gentile, non-physical time in hockey history, to be honest.
It's a time where guys that have the contracts, they're ready to go. Like, they're just putting the final touches on getting ready and being ready for the start of the season. But like, even good Branson and Wilson fought last night.
I like that.
It's been quite spicy.
But even them like getting in scraps, it's like, don't you want to be healthy for the regular season? Like,
you would think. You would think.
Yeah.
Evidently not.
Well,
guys are fighting for spots, although Yakov Trenin and Jonathan Taves are certainly not fighting for spots on their teams. So that was just a dirty hit.
Yep. But it was good. It's been nice to see. A little spice never hurt anybody.
A little spice is kind of nice. Luke Hughes. 7 years, $63 million contract. That's $9 million per season for Luke Hughes. He of 155 NHL games, 90 points.
That's just the way things are going. Like, I don't see. It feels like the bridge deal has disappeared a little bit because teams are trying to wrap their young stars into contracts in as many years as possible for as early as possible.
He's 22 years old. Young. The defenseman. They're hard.
Make sure the Hughes brothers are ready so they can welcome in the third one.
Oh boy.
We know Quinn's coming.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah. Big brother's coming.
Yeah. Deal with that, Vancouver.
Ooh.
Anyway, well,
stir that pot.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I don't know, but a $9 million contract for a guy that's 22, like Jazzy said, 155 NHL games. 90-ish. I think he's above 90 points. He's a good player already, and he's gonna be a good player for a long time. While we see the incremental growth of the salaries across the board in the NHL, I'm thinking, oh wow, Luke Hughes got $9 million. Maybe we'll hear less noise about Darnell Nurse.
Yeah.
Maybe. I might be wishful.
That's a good point.
In my thinking there.
It is wishful.
Okay. Just checking.
I mean, yeah, no, it is wishful because unfortunately Darnell's got 9.25 here in this lovely city, and he's kind of a lightning rod for criticism. Like, it's just whether he has a good game or a bad game, it doesn't really matter because that salary is attached to him. And the crazy part of this, and we've all talked about it, if he was a $6 million guy, wouldn't be one word said.
Valid.
So you can't.
Agree.
And the problem is that people associate Darnell Nurse and his contract is like one and the same. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Like, it's 9.25, and that's the only thing.
It's almost like people are insulted by it.
They're insulted by
or
it,
offended, even though it's not their money.
You can't be insulted that somebody said, "Hey, Darnell, would you like 9.25 million?"
Yes.
Yeah, trade.
No.
Whoa, what?
Oilers traded for Ingram.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Okay.
Friedman, I think. Check it out.
All right, I'll check it out. Thank you, Dusty. So we have breaking news here.
We need a breaking news button.
Da-na-na.
No, that's not the one.
As Lieutenant Eric is reporting, as of 1 minute ago, the Oilers are acquiring Connor Ingram. So all the people that wanted him, there you go. You're getting Connor Ingram.
Congratulations to you guys.
So Stuart Skinner, Friedman put it out there too. Eric likes to hop on and be an insider. So
it's not official until Eric
for
says
those
so.
that are new to this show, Lieutenant Eric he does it in comic relief.
Insider.
If that is the case, that Friedman's put it out there. So just competition. I don't know. I was told last week that they like the goalie. There's concern if this market would be detrimental to him, though. That's what I was told.
The first two comments I've seen on Friedman, Stuart Skinner, welcome to the East Coast Hockey League.
Oh, my God.
The other one is Stuart Skinner, welcome to Yugoslavia.
Okay, I want to get this off my chest. So,
Wow.
Just come on, guys.
we're waiting for details. Friedman and Lieutenant Eric reporting that Connor Ingram is being traded to the Oilers. Now, Stu Skinner is finishing up his practice yesterday. They're at the downtown community arena. They're getting ready for the CFR, which I think starts today. I saw a bunch of cowboys walking around downtown.
Yes, it does.
Some once?
Yeah. Cowboys in their cowboy boots and
Are you
cowboy
getting your
hats.
assless chaps on here soon, Tommy?
Who says I wasn't wearing them already? Whatever.
Get those assless chaps on, some cowboy boots, and a cowboy hat. No
kinda-
shirt, though.
Who needs a shirt?
You
when
don't need
have
a shirt.
Assless chaps. Anyway, for those just listening, I am not wearing assless chaps.
Not yet,
would
he
never.
isn't.
Any diddle. So Matthias Ekholm's son is on the ice
I
at
saw
the end
that.
of the practice.
Yeah.
And Matthias is working with him, like some passing, some shooting. And then I hear him go, "Hey, Stu, can you stay out for a minute?" And Skinner is a nice guy, young father as well. Goes and he like takes shots from Ekholm's kid, and the kid scores a couple, right? Like, listen, you're not stopping, you're not trying your hardest. And I'm like, this is a great moment. This is actually wholesome. This is good. This is stuff like behind the scenes kind of.
Yeah.
So I do a little video, post it, and all the comments are like, ECHL, Stu's playing at his level.
Oh,
and,
no.
And it was funny because there were people who replied. I think Chicklets even put it up. Anyway, there were
Goodness.
people who replied that are like, the comments are so disappointing. I don't even want to see the comments. And then there's others that were like, I need to see the comments to this post. And I'm like, it was supposed to be a good thing. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be wholesome.
and like
And
yeah.
like, hey, a nice little break
First
in
teammates
training. Yeah.
kid, like yeah,
But no.
let's
It
be
gets
toxic.
ruined.
Yeah.
Let's be toxic. As I do
Yeah.
Jazzy's
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. They went fully across the line there.
Yeah. Anyway, there's that. So,
Well, what does that
Okay.
do then for my old roomie?
Calvin Pickard?
Yeah.
Well, if it was according to Oilers fans, he would be the starter. He's had a good preseason.
Yeah, that's had a good little shutout.
I don't know, man. Like, Connor Ingram has a lot of work to do to get back to being an NHL goalie. When you miss so much time
Yep.
and you go through the hardship of the player, is it the rehabilitation program? I think it's not like, boom, hey, let's go. You're the starter day one of the season. It's now this, to me at least, that this deal has apparently been made. I would think that it just provides Stuart Skinner with motivation to be on his best. Otherwise, he gone. If you didn't
Exactly.
think it was make it or break it before, now it's very real.
Yeah, like things got real in a hurry for him.
Yes.
And so it's interesting because, like, is he the type of goaltender that needs that push? That little bit of, hey, there's a guy, like, he's about to take your job. Is he the type of goaltender that's going to respond to that? Because there's some goaltenders and players, really, that if that competition's there, they shrink to it. Now,
Yeah.
what is that? Like, what is Skinner like when it comes to that? I mean, you look back a few years ago when Pickard took the net in the Vancouver series, then, he played really well. And then as soon as Skinner got back in the net, all of a sudden he elevated his game. So is he the type of goaltender that has to have a guy consistently breathing down his neck to finally, like, put it all together?
Yeah, I think he operates under pressure. And I understand last year was a whole, oh, he's hot, he's cold. So that's actually a really good point to be like, your job is at risk. But then you see him go make physical changes. You drop some weight, which everybody I think was happy about, right? You're a lighter goalie.
Yeah, in
Right?
theory, he can move quicker. Or,
That's
Yeah.
right. So you see that he is responding and he's trying to be a better player.
Yeah. Yeah, he's putting
Let's
in
see
the
if
work.
he's put in the work, as Jazzy said. Let's see if the results are tangible. But through the preseason, I don't think, clearly, looking at responses, Oilers fans don't believe it's there.
It's
Well,
preseason.
Yeah,
There was one picture I saw. It was like a still frame, and he was facing the other way. And like the comments behind it, I was just like, oh my gosh. Like
It's really
they're like,
sad.
new goalie coach should help this. And he's facing the other way. I'm like, oh man.
It's really sad how far some take it.
Yeah.
The vitriol that comes out of this. Anyway, we have more details on the trade.
Please.
It has been made official by the Edmonton Oilers. The goaltender will report immediately to Bakersfield. Utah retaining $800,000 of his $1.95 million AAV. So there you go.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But confirming he needs to go and be in the minors, and he needs to get his game up and running, and he's not necessarily being thrust right in there. And so what it does now is, now that it's been confirmed, provides that little push from the back. Listen, Connor Ingram could go to Bakersfield and it might not go well.
Yep.
Okay, that's still a possibility. Is it likely? Probably not. I think he'll probably have success because he's shown he can be a good NHL goalie in small doses.
Yep.
It just depends where his mindset's at, how his game and his body respond. But at least they're making it clear, like, this guy's going to Bakersfield. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's not like an insult to Stu kind of thing.
No, but it is that little, hey,
Yeah.
got this other guy.
Yeah.
We'll try him out if you suck.
Yeah.
You only have this year remaining on your contract. Figure it out. So that I think they're doing everything they can to keep Stuart Skinner sharp.
I would agree with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they need him. Like they need that guy that was able to elevate his game and be a solid goaltender. He can't give up, that 1 week goal that just deflates a team. Like he can't have that. And so if you can get a guy that comes in and provides, adequate goaltending, I think the Oilers are going to be fine. But the problem that we've seen for how long has been, well, for one point in time when Koskinen was here, it was a first shot. That was the issue. And then you'd settle in, but by that point you're already down 1-0. And now you're battling back. And then, with Skinner and the way that he played for a little bit in stretches last year, well, that one goal goes in where you're like, come on, really? That's the one? And then it's always in the back of your mind. And it's hard to play when you're always trying to play catch up.
It'd be so annoying.
Yeah.
That plagued Talbot, that plagued Scrivens, that plagued Victor Fost, that plagued Mike Smith. There's this knack for letting in the first couple shots in a game.
Absolutely.
Stu Skinner's guilty of it too.
Yeah.
By the way, one more thing, and then we'll get Jazzy because I feel like you have something to say. But yes, no.
I was going to say that another thing is that it seems like the fan base will be satisfied with this move.
Do you think so?
That's wishful thinking.
Well, they keep complaining about goaltending,
Yes.
right? So it's something they're giving them, like, rather than,
But it
the goalie
hasn't been
coach-
solved.
Right. This is a guy that's like been an inconsistent starter, barely a start. But you can't even really call him a starter ever in the NHL.
Because here's
Connor
what's going to
Ingram.
happen, and this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
He goes down to Baco, has a good start, comes up, plays like 3 really good games. Everybody's going to be like, we figured it out. 4th game, in the dumps.
Le
5th
poo-poo,
game,
as you like to say.
Le poo-poo.
Yes.
Le poo-poo.
Italian?
Yeah, but he makes it French.
Le poo-poo.
It's more like eating a cigarette.
He has that 5th game, then what's the fan base going to say?
Oh, he'll bounce back. That's what I would assume the fan base would say.
So after that 5th game, so 3 are good, 2 are dumps, and then all of a sudden you think they're going to be going back to the, hey, we've done good, we've solved our goaltending, or it'll be back to the, we still can't find a goaltender.
I just feel like they're perpetually unsatisfied. I was going to add that you see the comment often in regard to Skinner, guys, this is who he is. He's 26 years old. He's going into his 4th full NHL season. To make the case, an argument that this is who he is and we know what kind of goalie he is at 26 and only 3 years under his belt, I feel is not true.
It's not true because goaltenders usually mature the last.
Right.
Defensemen are next, and then forwards usually,
They can pick it up
forwards
relatively.
mindless position.
Yes. Thank you. Spoken like
You're
a true defenseman.
We're the brains of the operation.
Yes, you are. You deserve all the credit, Sean.
Thank you. I appreciate
All right.
that.
This is Hangout Headlines brought to you by the Ranch Golf and Country Club. You got a couple weeks to go. We are into October. Marie McCourt says October 19th is the planned closing of the golf course. Booked today, the Ranch Golf and Country Club. Absolutely tremendous conditions all year long. So if you missed it, just joining us, the Oilers have acquired Connor Ingram from the Utah Mammoth. I love saying the Utah Mammoth rather than the Utah HC, which was a dumb name, placeholder, in exchange for future considerations. So that might not be anything. Usually future considerations ends up being nothing, or somewhere down the line, the Oilers need a favor and the Utah Mammoth need a favor, and they're like, hey, can you help us out? And the Oilers flip them a 7th rounder or something like that. That's usually what future considerations means.
Yeah.
We need a new washing machine. Can we bill it to you guys?
We need a few dollars.
Yeah.
Tell Kate's to pony up.
Let's go. Let's go. All right. What do you got, Jazzy?
Reed Wilkins chimed in the nasty chat.
I know him.
So seems like Oilers didn't claim Ingram so they could make a trade in which Utah retained salary. Fairly low risk trade. Ingram has .907 with 6 shutouts in 23-24.
Yeah, I mean, if he can find his game again, then it probably turns into a good trade. And the others they need solid goaltending, and that's not to take away from Skinner or Pickard, but they just need somebody that there's confidence there where they can play their game and they know that those one goal, like that one goal is not going to go in the net because that is it's as a team. If you're playing as hard as you possibly can. You're coming out of the gates flying and you're dominating the game, but the other team goes down and they put that goal in where you're like, man, that probably could be a save. It deflates everybody. It's like, oh, here we go again. So it's tough. So, for the Oilers, they make that trade and you hope that Ingram can find a way to get his game back and if they do, then you're putting yourself in a really good position in net. So
keyword is hope, by the way.
Yep.
There's no guarantee.
You never know.
You never know. Sorry, I'm just Instagramming.
No, that's okay. Like Oilers are notorious to have a slow start. So everybody just calm down already. I know it's a week away, but just chill out.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
I mean, it's coming. I'm excited, but at the same time, like, oh, goodness. Here comes the roller coaster.
Yeah. How do we feel about those slow starts, though?
I don't know. Maybe they mitigated this year.
Good point. I like your positivity.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's just
I haven't heard that before.
Hopefulness.
Positivity coming out of him?
No, just positivity in a slow, like not having a slow start the Oilers season. But Tommy can be positive though.
I like to be realistic.
Realistic.
People are like, oh, you shoot down rumors and this and that. It's like, yeah, because I'm being told that that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. We talked about Ingram, and all I said last week was I'm surprised they didn't claim him. I didn't know or think that the trade possibility was out of the picture, but I was just told, hey, there's some concern. How does he handle this market if he's thrust into the spotlight here? But they like the goalie. Obviously, they made the trade. So we'll see what happens. He's got work to do. He's going right down to Bakersfield. But if he succeeds and Stuart Skinner falters, you see something happen there and they'll give him a shot. That's now very clear from an Oilers standpoint. And they're trying to do everything they can to make sure that their goaltending is improved over last year as a whole.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
Without going and getting a $9 million goalie.
Which they wouldn't be able to do.
Correct.
Because of cap hell.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. All right, you can text us 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well. Do we have any comments in regard to this trade so far?
I think like the nasty chat is pretty happy. It seems like everybody is satisfied with this. So that's nice to see.
That is solid.
It is because it's rare.
Touche.
That's why I always go toxic time. Here we go. Right.
I have one from Shanzi while you find your next one.
Sure.
Shanzi says, I love how Oilers fans turn on their players. I remember when Stuart Skinner debuted back when he had Smith and Koskinen. as the 1-2 or 1A, 1B. The entire city was loving Skinner. Take me back to those days. The vitriol and the lack of accountability from people online is horrendous. This one from Leash McNeish says, will the Oilers carry 3 goalies then or send Pickard down? That's to be determined. I think that probably depends on the performance of all 3 goalies.
Yeah.
I think that's
I
kind of
agree with
something that'll happen where they figure out.
If Ingram's lights out in Baco, at some point he'll get called up. From there,
Well, if there's guys faltering, then yes.
yeah, but you don't make that trade if he's playing lights out down in Baco. You don't make that trade to keep him down there.
I disagree.
He's gonna come out. Really?
I disagree.
But you have Tompkins already.
Yeah, but no offense to him.
Just are you going to put Ingram and Tompkins, so 2 veterans? Because you only can have 4 veterans down there anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Or one of
so
those.
you're going to waste 2 veteran spots on goaltenders. You have Hamblin and you have Brown.
Yeah. Correct.
Oof. That's tough.
Well, then you have to release somebody.
Yeah.
Or trade somebody.
Well, that's kind of why I think that somebody's going to move at some point. And if Ingram's good, he's coming straight up here.
What if he's not? Then they move on from him.
Yeah, if he's not, then
That's the other
Peace.
what if. Like he has to be good.
yeah, he has to be good.
He
I
has to
agree.
be in the right frame of mind. He has to find his game. And then if he's chomping at the bit, showing management that he's ready. But if Skinner's playing well here, Pickard's playing well here, why are you calling him up if things are good here? That's my
because-
question. What's the point?
Well, the point that I agree with you.
You're messing with your
both-
team.
If both guys are playing well, but you've had 2 years of those guys. And you've had 2 years of, I know where you're about to go with this, saying that, well, it took you to the Stanley Cup playoffs. But the reality of the situation is
Final, thank you.
the goaltending hasn't been good enough.
What if it is good enough this season?
If this season's it's good
And there's
enough, then
nothing
I think we're all going to be high-fiving each other. That's what I think.
I don't celebrate and cheer.
You will. You do.
I
I've
do not.
seen you.
No.
Don't even lie.
Not
to
for
me.
the
we
Edmonton
sat, we
Oilers.
sat up in the press box, and I saw you do a little fist bump the one day.
No.
And then you tried to tuck that thing back in.
That's a lie.
He's allowed to feel emotions, okay? I always
this
give
guy?
them.
I'm a
I give
robot.
them. I give them heck about it
not
all
a
the time,
robot.
and I'm like, you're allowed to. It's at the end of the day.
Tommy doesn't feel.
I thought we established this. Anyway, are you?
That's
fist bump?
exactly it.
I know
I did.
that,
I did
though.
not do such a thing.
They
And
all
went
do
right
it,
back
though.
to his
They
popcorn.
all do it. Yeah.
whatever. You're full of crap. You're so full of crap. Anyway, I'm just saying, if Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard give the Oilers no reason to even consider
Then
calling
Ingram
up
doesn't
anyone,
Then he
from the
doesn't
line.
get called up.
Exactly. And
But
that's
here's
a
a
possibility.
hypothetical game for you.
We're playing the hypothetical game.
I'm going to continue it. If Ingram's that good, what do?
Then you have an asset that you can move.
Do you
Or
trade? You trade him?
Or you keep him there until, because it should be a motivating factor for your 2 guys up here. That, hey, if one of you guys soils the sheets, we're calling this guy up, you out. That's what it should do. Now, say things go so well. All 3 goalies are playing well. Pickard and Skinner here, Ingram down there, and Ingram's agent and Ingram are saying, call me up. Then the Oilers have to make a move. And if they have no reason to get rid of Skinner or Pickard, they'd move out Ingram.
Yeah. If
There's so many possibilities.
There's tons of possibilities. So at least now you have a little bit of depth in your organization, and the guy that's playing the best should probably get it.
Yes.
So here we are.
All right, let's talk about Kaprizov's contract.
Sure.
What do you guys feel about it? Highest paid player?
He won't be for very long.
Damn.
That's my first thought.
Good thought.
Yeah.
Kate, do you think Draisaitl is a better player than him?
Yes.
Yeah. They have similar stats, no?
Kaprizov has never scored 50 goals, but he's been a 100-point guy. Leon, although last year he was nicked up for a bunch of the season, Leon generally stays healthier.
I think he can dominate the game a little bit more too.
Yeah, Kaprizov's got that wow factor.
Yeah.
Kaprizov's awesome. Like, don't get me wrong. I think
Kaprizov
he's a
is awesome.
he's a top
Yeah.
5-10 player in the NHL, but this is him benefiting from the cap going up and us knowing the numbers, whereas Leon we had a sense that the cap was going up, and he got a big pair. Leon is gonna. That deal's it's already a bargain.
It's a massive bargain,
in my opinion.
So if you're the Wild, then based off giving him 17 mil, like he's got to be a 100-point guy every season.
You would hope so.
Because if it doesn't, then all of a sudden you're losing your mind, or is it just doesn't matter for you with the Wild?
I think you'd be pissed off.
Because his stats are actually really good.
Yes.
And
They are.
they're very close to Leon's.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He just hasn't had the goals.
Yeah.
Right.
Or the
Well-
trophies, I guess, either.
Yeah, or the team success.
Yeah.
And I think I would probably choose, if I had to pick between those two players, I'd probably choose Leon Draisaitl. I am biased, obviously.
Well, Leon's last 5 years, 106, 106, 128, 110, 84. And then the year before that, 110.
Yeah.
Kaprizov, his last whatever amount of years, 56 and 41, 96, 75, 108, 51 in 55 games that time. Mm-hmm. So Leon
If you're going
clearly
points per game,
produces more, but
and he plays more.
yeah,
Like, he's healthy,
he's healthy a little bit more.
which is important.
So that would be the one thing that I would look at for Kaprizov is like based on his seasons outside of his first full season where he played 81 games, so he still missed one. He hasn't played over 81 games ever. Second most is 75, 67, 41, and 55.
See the 45, 55, that's concerning.
That is concerning.
I know he's a smaller guy, and he wants to play fearless, and that's good, but he's getting nicked up, and I don't know. I also go back to what Craig Leopold, the owner of the Wild, said a few weeks ago when he's like, we think he's the best player in the world. We're going to pay him like the best player in the world. Clearly, he put his money where his mouth is.
100%, yeah.
I disagree with that statement. I also feel like that kind of public negotiating actually leveraged Kaprizov's camp. I thought it was silly. But, I mean, you got to sell your star, and that's kind of what Leopold did. But listen, if you have a Kaprizov on your team, you're off to a great start.
You're pretty happy.
Yeah.
But now he's got to make sure that he's available. Because if he's not available, then it's a waste of money.
Right.
And so
Well, I mean,
you've got to find...
He breaks his leg, knock on wood.
Yeah,
Hopefully he doesn't.
But there's guys that sometimes are just injury prone and other guys aren't. And some guys can battle through different types of injuries and other guys can't. So for him, being available for, let's call it 80 games would be a massive win, right? 75 plus. Anything less than 75, I think, is not a good situation because you need to have him. And for the Wild, and we saw it last year, up until Christmas time, they're one of the best teams in the league.
Very,
and then they
very
fell
strong.
off a cliff because guys got hurt.
Yes.
Kaprizov being one of them. And so they're a team that can potentially contend in that division. So
They got great goaltending last year, too.
yeah, they did. Yeah.
All right, text us 780-218-9999. Hit us up in the nasty chat. Hit that thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. It's the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage. Tom Gazzola, Sean Bell, Jasmine Sidhu with you. Jazzy, what you got?
I was just going to say, I think it's maybe a good thing for the Oilers. It takes pressure off McDavid. Now we know that he'll probably sign later on, mid-season.
I have no one really knows what's going on with it. Yesterday I was told it's Connor's world, and we're just living in it.
Ain't it?
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
True.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just considering it to be another positive in hockey.
Okay, Rashog hopped on for the morning mandate today with the boys on the morning show, and he did the equation, as he put it, which was a very eloquent way of describing it, as Connor needs to know if it comes down to, if you're taking Connor for his word, he needs to know that this team is competitive and doing everything it can be to stay in the window, leave the window open longer.
Duh.
Maybe this is a sign of being proactive, showing him, hey, we're doing what we can. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a bit of a stretch, but maybe it's just some goodwill there.
I mean, you can't blame the guy. You want to see, if you don't have to do something, if you have this timeline or whatnot, I would personally, in my own career or whatever, I would take it. I would take as long as I need.
Damn.
Right? Wouldn't you
That's
do
clearly
the best?
happening.
Right. So like everybody relax. Like it's not going to happen right away. He's a smart guy. He's a businessman after all too. Okay.
I thought he wanted to be a chef.
Did he? With all
This
the
is the CIBC commercial.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm teasing, obviously.
To that point, right, where he wants to see it. And because I listened to that segment with Rashog, and he was kind of sitting there saying, like, the Oilers are getting a little bit older. And so if you're Connor, okay, you're 28 years old, you got Leon who's 29. What do you want to see from that standpoint then? Like, how much younger do you want to get? Because here's why I'm bringing this up. Okay, so you got Hyman's 33. How many more years does he have? Who knows? Who knows?
Right.
Like his contract suggests one thing.
Yeah.
So you're going to say, okay, you've got your contract that brings you to 36.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you've got Nuge, who's 32. He's got 4 more years on his deal. He's going to be 36.
He'll always be a baby Nuge to me.
Henrique is 35, so he's an unrestricted free agent after the end of this year.
Yeah.
So how do you replace him? You've got Janmark, who's going to be unrestricted after next season.
How he got that deal?
32.
I don't know.
And then from there, like that's the core of the team. So the core of the team is getting older. Frederick is 27.
Yes.
Majapani is 29.
Yes.
So
They have gotten younger compared to last year.
Compared to last year, they were
yes.
like fossils last year.
There were a few.
But even on the defensive side, well, you've got Nurse 30, Ekholm 35, Kulak 31, Stetcher's 31. So you're getting long in the tooth there. I'm not saying that they are, but they're kind of in their prime and they're working toward the latter part of their careers. If you're Connor and you're saying, okay, well, I want this window to remain open.
Yeah.
Well, what does that look like to you? Does that look like 3 more young guys? Does that look like, go ahead.
I have an answer, teacher.
Yeah.
I feel like what it would take, if that is truly what is being assessed and evaluated by McDavid's camp, you take Henrique, right? You go, trade him, whatever, but you eventually, however you do it, whatever method, you replace him with a player of the same or greater impact that's 7 or 8 years younger. That's not easy to do, but that's what you do.
Yes.
Ekholm, you're going to keep the Viking around as long as you can. He's very well liked, very well respected. He's a leader of men. But at some point, you're going to need to find a young defenseman. And I think some people like Wallman kind of.
But Wallman's not Ekholm.
I know. And you're going to still have to find a replacement. And then, listen, as much as I respect what Matthias Janmark does on the ice, it's the little things, people. He's going to need to be upgraded at some point, and somebody younger has to do his role and then some. That, to me, is my answer as to what shows Connor, like, you trying to keep the window. You're taking these guys who you said are the secondary core of this team, getting them younger, making sure the impact's still there at the same level, if not more. And that's on management to figure out, find a way to do it.
So based off of preseason and what you've seen from some of the guys they brought in, do you think that instills some confidence in the guys? So, and I don't mean like Ike Howard, I don't mean Savoy, but I mean like the Tomaseks, I mean the Szymanskis, I mean some of those guys.
Szymanski, he's going to be in the minors. I know
of course he's going to be in the minors, but the thing is that you brought him over, what is he, 22?
Yeah.
You took him out of the DEL because you said, hey, he's 6'4", he's got some game, and we need to get bigger as a team as well because they are small. You're going to go to the minors, you're going to develop, but we see a future in you, and that's why he stayed so long as well. So is he a guy that you can sit back and say, you know what, he had a good enough camp where I'm excited about where he's going to be because I don't now have to go out and try to trade for a guy or have to go to free agency to find this particular player. We have that in our cupboards right now.
Okay, going off what you described and looking at the preseason and how training camp's going, I think one of the things that has come to light is that maybe the shelves aren't as bare as we thought after these signings and these little deals with
point.
the Szymanskis and the Tomasek. I still look at as a stopgap.
Yep.
Kind of a
Is Philip a guy?
yeah. I think so.
Yep.
You know, so the roster's evolving throughout the year anyway.
Yeah.
We know
Yep.
this. We've seen it. I think most of us have come to realize and accept it.
The Oilers are also favored to win the Stanley Cup this year.
That's a good point.
Like,
That is
like
amazing.
McDavid obviously knows this too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
let's be honest. Florida's kind of out of the way. I don't want to
Yeah.
sound like a hater because I don't wish injury on anybody.
Yeah.
But unless you know, just kidding. That's just kidding. But like, no, then I'll injure you. But like, Florida's out of the way too. Like, this is
Kind of.
This is a really like we can all be kind of optimistic now.
I still think Florida's really good, but you lose
Yeah.
Barkov and
Yeah.
and you don't have Tkachuk for a long
But
time.
Yeah.
the Chuck's coming back at some point.
In
But I
December.
agree with you.
He'll be
Like,
rusty.
you lose Barkov.
That's big.
That's a tough one. But like, I think the thing about the Panthers and why I personally don't think they're going to go away is because you had Marchand playing on the third line. And
Yeah.
he's not a third liner on any other team in the NHL. He goes there, third line. Okay, well, I'm going to replace Barkov's minutes. And if you were to ever have like, hey, here's a bit of a silver lining. Well, yes, we lost Barkov, who's obviously one of the best two-way players in the entire game, but we can now take Marchand and we could plug him into that perfect spot.
Yeah.
And is a drop off that big that our team's going to be so far behind the eight ball? I don't think it is. I think it's a drop off, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's so massive that you can sit there and be like, man, we're going to be like, you know, out of the playoff by Christmas or whatever that looks like.
I'm with you on that.
I still
That's a
think
good-
they're
that's
going
a
to
good
be
point that
really,
you bring
really
up, Jasmine.
good.
Yeah.
Right. So, are they the same team as they were at the end of last year? Not a chance. But
They
hot
weren't the
damn, are
same
they still
team
good.
at the end of the last year either. The year before,
All right. Yeah.
their loss was way different than the year before. This team is going to improve. It's
The Oilers?
The Oilers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the others, yeah.
Cole Harbor Joe texting in, Paris Jeweler's inbox says, do you guys think this deal only happens from a newer expansion team rather than the other 31 GMs who would never do this favor for Bowman? Keep in mind, it's a weird, they are technically an expansion team, but they had the benefit of basically, they were the Arizona Coyotes. Bill Armstrong's been a GM, an assistant GM in the league for a while. So I don't think anybody was kind of taken advantage of, in my opinion, Cole Harbor
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah, the nasty chat agreed. Barkov is a bigger loss than the turtle.
That's,
Different.
yeah.
Different loss.
Well, I mean, the defensive game, the
defensive
penalty
game,
kill,
yeah.
face-offs, and that
You can't replace the spice that Tkachuk brings.
it is a delicious spice.
Like you can't replace that. That sounded so weird. I'm gonna allow you a chance to like rephrase that any way you would like.
yeah, I don't think I
but
can.
no, you can do whatever you need to
Is
do to
he like a
rephrase.
paprika?
No, he's got a little more spice than that, man. Tommy, that was he's a delicious spice.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
What is going on here,
don't
Tommy?
know.
Spicy,
He's
yeah.
good. He's one of the best
He's
players.
like a little cayenne, maybe.
Cayenne, that's great.
I was gonna say some
Yeah.
chili, like Indian
Maybe like a
chili.
chili
Yeah,
oil.
yeah.
That's good too. Chipotle, some kind of Chipotle dressing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez. Yeah.
yeah. I
It
don't
came
know
out
why I
real
said
weird,
that.
but that's fine.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was not good. Whoops.
Oh well, it happens. But yeah, he's just that type of player. So it's a different loss. Barkov, the defensive game, you know, the way that he can carry it offensively is great, but Tkachuk is just he is the swagger of the Florida Panthers.
Is he like the ultimate complementary piece?
Tkachuk?
Yeah. Or is he a driver?
I think he's a bit of a driver, no?
That's why I'm asking. Because
I
if,
would
if
say-
you
I
say
think
it's
he's
a
I
different
think he's a
loss and it's not
driver.
as
For
significant as
sure.
Barkov,
He's a driver in the sense that, like, outside of Marchand, I guess a little bit of Bennett, but who else do you see that brings as much like pizzazz to the game as Tkachuk on that particular team?
You could say we could argue Marchand,
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
outside
Yeah.
but he's
outside of
also
him and
old.
Bennett.
He's like 37 years old.
correct.
But like they get their game from him. Like that, like when I watch the Florida Panthers play, I'm like that's Matthew Tkachuk. He's in your face.
Yeah.
They're offensive.
Bunch of jerks.
They're a bunch of jerks.
Love to hate.
That's how they love to hate him, but that's how
Great
he
villain.
is. That is everything he is. And so when he's on the ice, they're just a very different hockey team because not everybody wants to kill them. Like when you play against the Florida Panthers with Tkachuk, okay, that guy can't stand him. That guy's going to be in your face. That guy's going to help spur other guys on, and then it just becomes this momentum situation. When he's on in the lineup,
Bennett can do that.
Bennett can do it,
but he does it in the playoffs
does
more
it,
so than regular
yeah, like he does it in spurts, and he picks his spots way better than I think Tkachuk does. Tkachuk he's a guy that stirs it all up, and then everybody else has got to like rise to the level and maybe defend him or whatever. But he's just, man, that guy plays so in your face that it just becomes a point where something's going to happen at any point.
Yeah, you don't get guys wanting to punch Carter Verhaeghe in the face as much as Matthew Tkachuk.
Absolutely.
As an example.
Because, I mean, even with
punchy
Calgary,
face,
right?
Yeah.
When he was with Calgary, think about all those games where it's like, man, I can't wait for this game to happen because I want to see him get punched in the face.
Absolutely.
There was
Those were
nobody
a lot
else
of
on
fun
that
games.
team that you could say that about.
Yeah.
True.
But
obviously-
Anderson got bigger.
Yeah.
Because Tkachuk was in the lineup because he was stirring it up.
Yes.
Kadri played a little bit differently because he stirred things up. Guys played differently because Tkachuk was sitting there just doing, he's got the old wooden stick out and he's just
holding
rotating
there.
everything.
Yeah. You're right, actually. Him coming from Calgary makes him even more hateable,
Yeah.
right?
Well, that
it's like you kind of forget. So you're like, oh, why do I hate this guy so much? Like, oh, yeah.
good reminder. Remember
Yeah.
when the Amazon series came out and was it called Face Off? I think they're doing season 2.
Yeah.
And they were talking about the Cup final and there's Matthew Tkachuk in his pool in Florida, and he's like, I don't even know if they have pools in Edmonton. Like it's those little shots.
those
you know?
jabs.
Even his speech, his speech, and I must say I do love it because we always want personality in NHL. So that's the one thing I do like that he is stirring the pot, as Bellezy's saying, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, go ahead and hate, but
Like what he did to Aho last year, it was a game 3 or game 4. And I think it was Carolina was actually taking over the game. And then Florida just decided to start running around. And at one point, like Aho was just standing there. Tkachuk sought him out, started punching him, had him on the ground, was on top of him, throwing punches. And it's like, it's just that little thing right there.
Yeah.
You're like, what did Aho's been invisible? Why are you even going after him? And it was just, nope, that's the guy that's their best player. And I'm just going to make sure that everybody sees I'm putting this guy's face in the ice.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a rallying point. It's an intimidation factor.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he did that, like that game went just off the rails and it was bye-bye Carolina.
Yeah. I mean, if Matthew Tkachuk did that to me, he'd be eating a lot of carbon fiber.
Well, yeah, you would think most people would be like, okay, like let's not have this happen. But unfortunately, Aho just ate about 6 and then disappeared completely.
Smart. That's how you do it to softer players. That's how you do it. Okay, text us 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat. The Oilers have traded for Connor Ingram with the Utah Mammoth, sending future considerations over to Utah. Utah will retain $800,000 of the $1.95, I think, salary. This text says lateral move, in my opinion, but good to have options. Coach Mike asking, would Pickard clear waivers? What do you guys think?
That'd be tough.
I don't think he
I
would
think he's
clear.
played. I think he's played well enough. That
I think
he wouldn't clear.
somebody would pick him up. Jazzy, what do you think?
of course.
Yeah. This text says Oilers need to give players that have potential to outperform their contract more opportunity. We know what Janmark, Kapanen, and Henrique are. Best case, they perform to their contract, but even that is a stretch. Yeah, and listen, that Janmark, Kapanen, Henrique, Kapanen gets a 1-year deal. Henrique has a year left. Janmark has 2. Those are the guys that they're going to have to, turn over here in the next year or so, maybe even this season. This one out of Calgary says Barkov is the bigger loss, no question. Barkov shut down McDavid and Draisaitl, which won them the cup. Tkachuk did.
You could argue that Tkachuk won the game actually, but which won the cup?
FK all 2 finals in a row they won despite without him.
Didn't he score the game-winning goal?
The
Series clinching
1 year
goal?
was Reinhart.
Well, this past year, he won didn't he not score the game-winning goal? That was the series clincher in
Wasn't
Florida.
that last game like a runaway though?
Yeah, but he still scored the game
Okay,
winner.
yes. I don't know. I can't remember.
I remember.
You have a good memory.
Thank you.
What do you got?
I just got a little bit inside information.
Let's go.
So my family plays hockey.
Insider.
My family plays hockey, as you guys know. I won't say which cousin of mine at this point because a few of them do.
And it's not ball hockey.
No, it's actually professional
God.
ice hockey. Like they had contracts and they played. Like,
Thank
yeah,
God.
yeah.
Oh my God. Had to get that shot in.
So he wrote to me. He goes, "My buddy played junior with Ingram. And he
Okay.
said he was an absolute beauty, but he was a bit of a fat ass."
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh
Like
boy.
we said, as long as he gets everything, he's good. He's good. He went through the program, and then he's good on the ice. And
He said he changed a ton. So let me finish that. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
yeah.
So he said he changed. He said an absolute beauty, being a fat ass, because thick is in, right? Okay. Okay.
Jesus.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm getting jacked and juicy.
Yeah, exactly. Jacked and juicy. He said, however, so Ingram had changed a ton though. He went to like rehab and all that. And
Yes,
he
he
got
went
into great shape.
player assistance
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's like he needs to catch up on the hockey side. Hopefully everything's good on the mind and the body side. But that's good insight. So one of your cousins played junior with him.
Yeah, his friend played junior with
Okay.
him and said he's an absolute beauty, which is a big deal for my cousin to say this.
Because your cousin is
He's a Canucks fan, so he's a hater, always has kind of like negative things to say about the Oilers and
Okay.
stuff like that, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
This one says, I'd like to welcome the next Oiler goalie to get walked out of town by the fans.
Oof. Tough.
That could happen.
Benny, Justice for Ball Hockey.
Shut up, Ben. All right, you can text us 780-218-9999.
I love how you it's a verbal onslaught for anybody that you know that plays ball hockey.
Well, my brother is
Your
target.
brother is target number one.
That's right, every time.
And then Benny is now target number two.
Benny knows. So
Benny knows.
Benny feeds into it.
Like your poor brother just takes heat for that.
He likes the attention. Portions of this hour brought to you by Hive Product Marketing. Give Chelsea a call. She's back in 2 weeks from her mat leave. Otherwise, the rest of the crew over at the Hive Product Marketing is excellent. TheHiveProductMarketing.com. Any type of merchandise, stationery. They have a catalog of thousands of items that you could put your information and logo on. We've been using them since day one here at EST. They have been outstanding. All right, where to next?
All right, so let's shift gears a little bit to the NFL. We can come back to hockey after if you guys want. But so Tyreek Hill had a really gruesome injury.
Yeah.
He basically, his knee is done skis.
Yeah.
The reason I'm talking about this is because we know Bellezy is a Dolphins fan. Go
Fins
Fins.
up.
Yeah, Fins.
Big win. Really beat
Massive
those
win.
Jets.
Hey,
So
Yeah,
positive.
sick.
it's called a win. A win's a win.
You take it, baby.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. You're clearly happy about this win.
Well, yeah, you got to
Yeah.
get a win. We're on the board. We're not one of the only teams now without a win, so this is exciting for me. It sucks so because of the injury, and obviously Tyreek was a big part of their game. Could there be a silver lining with Waller all of a sudden coming back? I think he played his first game, got 2 touchdowns. He's a matchup nightmare for opposing defenses because, it's a tight end that moves like a receiver. He's 6'5". You can jump through the end zone. It's big. So now can Tua spread the ball around? Is there ways that now the Dolphins can say, hey, we did some really good things. We ran the ball. A-Chain had 99 yards on the ground, and
On my
Gordon
fantasy.
had yeah, he was on my fantasy too. Gordon had some good numbers as well. But they changed things up. They focused on the run a little bit more. So can that be the starting point for the Fins? There wasn't as much, motion and different trick plays. The one trick play went to Washington where Tua flipped that thing behind his back and
Yes.
just boom. It's nice.
You're very impressed?
I was
was-
jacked up.
It was a must win for the Dolphins
Why do you say that though?
because they were playing the Jets. Bellezy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this. So at Shinny the other day, Kent Morrison came in.
I know Kent.
And
He's a
I
good
said,
friend.
Kent, can you text Josh Clausen I said, I want to put a little bet on the line. He's like, okay, what do you want me to say? I said, if the Dolphins win, I'm the weatherman for 1 day. I get to go in and do the weather. Green screen. Boom. Cold front. This area.
Yeah.
I just want to try
High
it.
pressure
legit.
system, low pressure
Yeah.
system.
So much
Yeah.
fun, like point and stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
I
And you're
always
just
wanted to do
messing it
that
up. Edmonton's here. Like,
Yeah,
Edmonton's right here.
You would be so nervous. Yeah.
I would have the time of my life.
It's like a picture of the wet, like
Yeah.
a nature picture by accident. 'Cause just click.
I have a feeling where this went, but
And so then
proceed.
And so then I go, if the Jets win, I never bring it up again.
Wow, what a proposition.
It'd be such a good bet. Like, let's see it. Josh responded, I don't think this is a good bet for me.
I agree with
Because you
him.
knew
Yeah.
that the Dolphins were going to whoop the Jets.
That's kind of, well, I mean, they made it close late, but they were whooping the Jets.
Yeah, like just
It was not a, I flipped over to the Broncos Bengals very quickly.
The Bengals are in trouble.
Bengals
Oh,
are
are they
done.
ever?
They are done.
Yeah.
Oh,
Poor
man.
team.
No Joe Cool.
Browning's not good either.
No.
Like
Like, Jamar Chase, ugh.
Yeah.
He has zero impact on the game now without Joe Burrow.
Yep. That's
So,
too
and
bad.
you can see this guy's getting so frustrated.
But he resigned, did he not?
He did resign.
Yeah.
I think he had 5 catches for 28 yards. Usually when he has 5 catches with Burrow around, it's like for 150. But man, it's like, I don't even know if is a quarterback that bad, or is this guy just getting bottled up now?
Probably the quarterback's that bad. I would say. That's my hunch watching that game.
Man.
Because he was a Browning, couldn't do
He's
squat.
he's the type of wide receiver though that could make a bad quarterback look average.
That didn't happen on Monday.
So if I'm that guy, why wouldn't I just be like, I want to overthrow the ball to him?
Okay, but with Jamar Chase, like, are you saying he wants out? Like,
No,
you
I'm
just
not.
gotta,
I'm not,
you got to
I'm not
ride
saying
out
he
the
wants
tough
out.
times.
I'm not saying he wants out, but I can see there was actually one clip where he was like losing it on the coach at one point, and I'm like, okay, well,
All right, well, your
once
quarterback's
again,
out. What are you gonna do?
if I'm the quarterback and I'm this second string guy, whatever, I'm not very good. I've got an all-star right over there. That guy's going to get 15 to 20 passes. Whether 15 to 20 passes actually connect or not doesn't matter. Like, I'm going to do everything to make sure that this guy makes me look average. And to me, I look at him like, you got T. Higgins on the other side. You know, he's a good
great
receiver.
1-2 punch,
It's
yeah.
a great 1-2 punch.
yeah.
I just can't figure out, why do you have a stat line that says 5 catches, 28 yards when you are an all-star?
Okay. Bronco Nick, of course. Jamar Chase was playing against the Defensive Player of the Year, Pat Surtain II. Show some respect.
Hey, Patty Surtain is
He's
unbelievable. He's unbelievable.
Yes.
But once again, I'm a second string quarterback coming into the game.
Then go to Higgins.
This is my guy.
Yeah.
This is my guy.
Yeah.
That's my guy. I'm going to ride or die with that guy.
If Chase is being double teamed and Surtain's on him, then go to Higgins. Find other
but
options.
they both had crap stats.
Yeah. Because they had a quarterback who was not capable.
Oof.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah. So sorry, Bengals. Sorry, Bengals fans.
Like, they're in trouble. Isn't that Benny's new team?
No, this guy
thought he was
can't pick
going-
a
yeah,
dang
he's
team.
Green Bay.
Now he wants to do Packers.
His dad, because Nate the
his-
Builder is a
that's
Packers
right.
fan.
Yeah, but you know, it's just like he's just trying to find his team and hurry up, Benny.
He's on a
It's too
spiritual
late, I
quest
feel
to
like.
find his NFL team.
Whatever, he needs to figure it out.
It's a long quest.
You know who else is in a lot of trouble?
Who?
I'm sorry, Maddie. I don't know if you're listening. He's on vacation this week. Baltimore Ravens. My God. So at the beginning of the year, we had to take my cousin, Dr. Harjus Grable, was on, and he questioned Maddie. He said there could be a chance that the Ravens could miss the playoffs. They have a hard division. You need Lamar Jackson. You guys, his hamstring injury is huge. Not only is he going to miss 2 to 3 weeks, when he comes back, he's not going to be running the ball anymore.
They're what, 1-3? Maddie expected
Yeah,
them
but
to be
they- I mean,
0-4.
They
dang
could have been
Chiefs,
easily
yeah.
3-1.
They
Derrick Henry's
crumbled in
fumbles.
that game.
Henry fumbling has been outrageous.
Absolutely.
Which is something he's never done in his career.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's doing it. And that single-handedly for sure cost him one game.
Yeah. The Buffalo game.
The Buffalo game. They were winning
had
that
it.
game. They did.
Tommy had a little sprinkle on there that Derrick Henry ruined. A delicious spice.
I think that there are certain parts of the game that are going to be in trouble. Jackson isn't, because of his injury, isn't as much of a dual threat as he once was. But the other piece of that is that Henry's not being a factor like he once was.
Negative factor, actually.
So I think that's tough, but I don't think they're done. Like I think they'll find a way to kind of figure that out. Like that game that they played against Buffalo, that was just two juggernauts slugging it out. Like they were both unbelievable teams.
That was a great game.
And I can't see a world where the Baltimore Ravens are just now hanging out with the Miami Dolphins.
No,
I can't see a world that happens. I strongly believe that the Ravens will find a way out of this.
I hope you're right.
I have more faith in the Ravens
They're fun
than
to
I do
watch.
the Dolphins.
They're fun to watch, and I just don't want. I want them to continue.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dolphins, I know what they are. They're an average team. They're rebuilding. The Ravens are a Super Bowl contender, or at least they're supposed to be. Supposed to be. Yeah.
It's NFL has been wild though. It's been really, really interesting so far this season. Unfortunately, the Colts fell short and are not undefeated anymore.
Thank God.
But they are still top
Oh,
of
shucks.
the AFC South.
I
so.
feel terrible for you.
Ooh, they could have won.
They're going to be coming right. They're going to be coming right
Okay.
back down to where they're supposed to be.
Whatever.
They got lucky in their first 3 games. Now they're coming back down to earth.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Right where they belong.
Oh, watch it.
Since
Fins.
Manning left, they're going right back down in the toilet. That's why Andrew Luck decided to retire early.
Yeah. News, you say.
Keep shanking Colts fans.
Sorry, Cole.
Well done. This is the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage.
Oh, man.
Gazzola, Bell, Sidhu with you. Text us 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat. We got some chats
Tell me how you really
coming
feel,
in.
Jazzy.
Okay, so the Bills and Eagles are the only ones that are undefeated.
Well, let's get back to the Colts.
What about the Colts?
You brought them up.
I brought them up just to tell you that they lost a game. I was being
That's all-
fair.
that's all you wanted to?
Always defending your team. Worry about Tua, buddy. Okay.
I actually saw the funniest video ever yesterday.
What?
And it was like one of those animated videos, and it had Tua, it had Tyreek, and it had Mike McDaniel.
Yep.
And they're like talking about the win, and Tyreek's leg is like crooked, it's backwards, and Tua was cross-eyed. And I'm like, I can't go into the full video because there were some obviously expletives in there, but the way that they were talking about it, I was howling because it's like Tua's been cross-eyed for 2 years. Because of
Oh no, it's not funny.
Oh my God. Like that is offside, but
That is awful.
it was a funny video.
What do you guys think about those helmets?
Which ones?
The safety ones? I always forget what they're called.
Guardian caps.
That's right. What do you guys think about them?
If a player's comfortable wearing it and there's data and science proving that it helps, then okay. And they've done a good job to like make them blend in, but they're huge.
You can tell, right? Like right
Yes.
off the bat, they look hilarious on camera. But I read somewhere that players don't want to wear them because they don't look sexy.
They don't.
No, I can see that.
It looks like what are those giant hats?
Yeah.
The big hat. Yeah.
That's like the big hats. That's exactly what it looks like.
You're right.
Like I'm running around with a giant hat on my head.
What's cool with helmet technology, and it has crossed over into hockey, you see it with some of the new helmets that are super expensive now, is it's not a hard plastic shell like it used to be. It actually absorbs the impact, and you see like it's almost like a webbing instead of foam. So the inner liner of the helmet underneath the shell is like a webbing, and it's a better form of cushion. And I remember that was being introduced to football 7 or 8 years ago. I think the company was VCIS, VCIS, and they were implementing that. And I think now it's become more commonplace where You see it if you even now with the hockey helmets, like I said, you'll see
Yeah, the spiderweb
the
technology.
spider
is
web
good,
technology, and it's meant, and the plastic too. Instead of being like, my helmet has more cushion, so it's more protective. It's my helmet absorbs the energy of impact.
Yeah.
Therefore, the brain has less of a chance to rattle inside the head.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. You fall backwards and you hit your head on the ground. I don't know how you prevent that type of concussion. Maybe there is people working on that, but the technology in helmets is cool. And then adding with the Guardian cap, if a player feels safe, okay, I'm not going to make fun of them. It does look like you look like the mushroom guy from Mario, but if it saves your head,
your
and
head protection is more
and you can
important.
live a normal life after you're 35 years old,
Legit.
then that's worth it.
I mean, I wouldn't wear it because it looks atrocious. Kidding. I so would. I so would because it looks comfortable.
Jazzy,
to be honest.
there's players that probably feel the same way.
They do, which is sad.
Well, it's like the guys that wear the Bauer 4500.
Yeah.
Great helmet. Probably the nicest helmet ever for hockey. And it just doesn't have a lot of great padding.
Yeah.
It's
the least safe.
It's old
outside
school.
of the Jofa.
Well, I
Like
mean,
the Gretzky Jofa.
It's this generation's Jofa, essentially.
Yeah.
Unless they start putting the spiderweb technology.
In the Jofas?
They
don't even make those things.
No. In the
4500s,
yeah.
By the way, the Cardinals, the Dolphins, and the Colts probably will win this week. Since
I didn't check who the Cardinals have.
Colts are playing the
Who
Raiders.
Fish have?
The Fish have. So the Cardinals have Tennessee, and then the Fish.
We need
have
a
the
win,
Panthers.
and I am using "we" with the Cardinals.
The Fish
I
have the
apologize.
Panthers?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Miami's favored by 1.5. So I wonder how their schedule is actually going forward. Miami's.
It's actually a pretty decent schedule.
Okay.
Schedule good enough to perhaps be 500.
They play. Sorry.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. They play So Panthers, Chargers, Browns, Falcons, and Ravens. So yeah, you might be looking good after all. I don't know.
So Mike McDaniel won't get fired. Do you like him? I've never asked you this.
I think there's times where he's a little bit too gimmicky
Okay.
and less, straight line physical football. So if he can figure out a way to have more of that, like, hey, we're gonna run the ball and then we can add some spice to that, then I think he'll be fine because he does have a good mind for the offensive side. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's just too much. Like you're too much motion. They're too much, pre-snap routes and all that nonsense. Like
Because they try to do like a waggle sort of thing with the movement. Is his dork act wearing thin? Seriously.
You think he's a dork?
He's a dork.
I don't know. Like I think he's
I think he has some swagger.
I think he's just been genuine as to who he was.
A dork?
Yeah.
I don't mind him. He's just like, I like when he messes with the camera. He's got weird answers, post-game press conferences, or you're like, it's kind of refreshing because he's honest.
Because he's honest and passionate nonetheless.
Yeah, but
right?
you're like, you sound like a dork,
Yeah.
but a very successful one.
Yeah. I mean,
Can't knock that.
He's been through like the kind of the Shanahan tree. He's been offensive coordinator on some pretty good offenses, and that doesn't just go away. Now you've got to now figure out and simplify the game because all the motion's not working. You've decided that you want to run an offense that is very hard to run, and it's okay. We're going to scheme our first read open. Well, that's not going to be good when all they're going to do is clog up the middle of the field. And that's been known what the Dolphins are trying to do. They're trying to attack the middle of the field since Mike McDaniel came in. First 2 years, those offenses were explosive. That's why Tyreek had like 2,000 yards. But since then, they're like, okay, well, if you're going to go between the hash all the time, let's clog the middle of the hash and let's see what Tua can do. And now all of a sudden it's, can't do that. Interception. Figure it out. You've got two good running backs. Use them.
Tyreek's smiling when he was carted off the field.
This is because he knows he doesn't have to play another game for Miami.
Yeah, that's what Twitter says. That is the joke, eh? Like,
It is the joke,
but I wonder if, there was like a real sense of relief there.
Yeah.
That like the pressure's off of him, and maybe he didn't believe in the Dolphins to begin with, or what's happening with them.
Quit
right
on
now.
them last year at the end of the season.
That's what he did. And then all that drama that's going on with
Yeah.
his baby mama and all that stuff.
What's going on with his baby mama?
She's accusing him of domestic violence.
Oh,
Yeah.
crap. That's not good.
Yeah.
He's too much of a lightning rod for that stuff. He was just doing.
The cheetah. Yeah. I think his career might be done.
That's a bad break. Like, because it's a broken leg, isn't it? Or was it a torn?
It's his ACL,
Ugh,
and then
okay.
lots of more
He
ligaments.
dislocated his kneecap,
Right.
and then I was listening to something yesterday, but I guess the ligaments are all good, but he's just got I think, does he need surgery? I can't remember.
Probably.
Yeah. Oh well.
Sorry, C-Run. I don't like McDaniels after he didn't set the record, but then he goes, "That's the drugs, Jazzy."
Actually, okay. I do want to talk about that.
Kind of does look like he's on drugs.
It does, yeah. And part of that video, he was on drugs.
I mean, it is Miami, so.
If you're a coach in the NFL and you have the chance to go for a record that probably will stand for another 30, 40 years,
Which record is this?
when they went most points in a game.
Oh, okay.
They put up, 63 that day?
Okay.
And instead of going for the field goal, they ran it, didn't get it, or maybe they punted. They did something where it's like, okay, we're not going to go for it, even though we're in range to do it, because they wanted to respect the other team. Okay, well, you've already beat the brakes off the other team. And now the record is staring you right in the face. Would you not, as a coach, want to go for that particular record?
Yeah.
Because the respect portion's out the window already.
I don't know.
No? You put up your hand.
Part of me
if
would
you're
want
making numbers, I would
63
go
on a
for
team.
it.
Yeah.
That respect factor of like, hey, we're going to probably ease off the gas pedal, that's gone.
Ego would
That was
say
gone
yes.
after 50.
Ego would say yes, but mindfulness and respecting the opponent, quote unquote, I think would kick in.
Okay.
Because then you get a reputation and people think you're an a-hole.
Yeah, but you already ran the score up. And now the record is a field goal away.
I would have taken the field goal.
That's my point. Why would you have not gone for the record?
For sure.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Because you've already run the score up. In hockey, that's a 10-1. That's 10-1. And you have the chance to say, okay, well, if you get 11, that's the most goals scored in an entire game ever, which obviously in hockey it's not. But like at some point, the opposing team understands they're on the record. That's why we're going for it. I don't know. To me,
I don't know.
if
That's a
I'm
tough
that
one.
close to it, yeah.
Jazzy, what would you do? I think you'd go for the kill, but
I absolutely would go for the kill.
not surprised.
Numbers don't lie, baby. I need that on my record, eh? Let's go.
bling,
Yeah.
bling.
Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. Damn.
Okay, portions of this hour are brought to you by the Finish Long Drink, official drink partner of the EST Hangout. The Finish Long Drink, pride of 1952. That was the Helsinki Olympics. Delicious. The zero cal, a little bit more nutritious. And you can pick it up at Rogers Place and liquor stores around the city. The long drink is actually very, very good. I have had the peach. I had it down in the U.S. It was tasty. And hopefully it makes its way up here.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah, it's really good.
But one last thing before I want to move on to MLB soon. But I want to quickly talk about the turf at MetLife. They're changing it out now because of all the injuries.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, about time.
So the
Players
Giants
have been
and
complaining about it.
You know what's crazy? But okay, so that stadium, because I'm a stadium nerd, so they are changing the turf. But what they do is they replace the end zones every game for Jets and Giants.
Do they?
Yeah, because they have to turn that stadium over, right?
Yeah.
But I think they have an NFL logo at center field, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. Because
Yeah.
that's too much work to do for.
So they take out the end zones and they replace them. Like, say it's a Giants game, but the Jets are playing. Say it's a Thursday nighter at MetLife for the Giants. They have a few days to turn around, which those crews are so good. But then they put in the Giant or Jet stuff, and then all the stadium stuff. They literally have, like, at the team stores, they have shelves that spin from Jets to Giants just to make
nice.
it a quicker transition.
Do they do that at That's interesting because when I went to New York in March, I had back-to-back game of the Knicks. I had the Rangers game and the Knicks game. So I wonder if they do that there too.
Maybe.
right?
I mean, they redid MSG 10 years ago. They put $1 billion into it. So, okay, what are they saying about the turf there?
It's just so I guess the NFL is urging MetLife to do it after Malik Neighbors' injury with his torn ACL.
Oh.
And then other players have tweeted about it as well. So, I just thought that's crazy that it's taking this many injuries and like severe injuries to impact them, to change the turf here.
This has been going on for a while, hasn't it?
There's been a lot of issues with turf, natural grass, and the artificial synthetic stuff in the NFL in the last couple of years.
Even in soccer, I mentioned this before. Messi apparently didn't want to play against the Whitecaps because he didn't want the artificial turf.
Yeah.
Right? Because he didn't want to get injured for the games that were actually, at stake.
Yeah. You've heard that, but turf has been a big issue in the NFL the last couple of years.
Yeah. Because there's been a lot of, I think, was it last year there was a lot of ACLs? Or was it 2 years ago?
But I know in San Francisco, they've complained about the turf there. That's grass.
Yep.
Where else were they bitching and complaining about the turf? There's been a few stadiums where you're like, really? I thought that was natural grass. I thought it was the best, but the way it's maintained hasn't been good. Even, listen, like Arizona and Vegas, they have the field on a tray essentially, and it rolls out, sits in the sun outside in the parking lot of the stadium. There was a game a couple of years ago where they showed the turf and it was like sunburnt and yellow. They literally just paint it green.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it looks immaculate and fresh. And then like now with the 4K especially, and you get those close shots in the view, like that looks like
that.
garbage.
Yeah.
Like that was real.
Oh,
Garbage.
wow, what is going on
Oh
here?
my gosh, I'm gonna like so pay attention to that now.
I like that kind of
That
stuff.
was like the old Oakland Raiders stadium, right? Because they shared it with the baseball team, and you could see like where the infield was.
I like that. The first couple, like the first month of the season.
Yeah.
Where you'd see it was the sand or the shale or whatever. Well, San Fran had that.
Yep.
Oakland had that. I think Miami for a while before the Marlins got their own stadium.
That just looked so bad.
I always found it
You're like
neat.
running in shale, then all of a sudden you're running on grass. You're just like, what is going on? Like I'm literally just playing high school football again.
Yep.
So in the backyard.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, the multi-purpose stadiums are a thing of the past now.
Avery, the Nasty Chat, since 2023, they added team logos to midfield for the Jets and Giants.
Oh, okay, so then they would have to, maybe they scrub that out because they have like the machines that scrub out the lines and the paint and stuff like that. Thank you, Avery.
What's the stadium? Is it in Barca where it opens up and then it goes down and then they like water, like there's like the watering system.
Or like Real Madrid or something like that.
Soccer
need
money.
that.
Yeah.
Well, they need one of those.
Yeah, that's true.
MetLife.
And there's like the lighting
Yeah.
underneath that grows the grass.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Did you guys catch any MLB? The wild card games
watching yesterday.
Yeah.
Did not.
Yankees.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch, Yankees.
What
Had
was
that
it?
1-0 lead, blew it, lose to the Red
bases
Sox.
loaded.
Is that why Maddie's not here today?
Well, he's on holidays. He's probably licking his wounds right now. Yeah. That's a tough loss because it was the 8th inning that the Yankees had the 1-0 lead, and then Boston, rallied, and then the Yankees with Aroldis Chapman in to close. He's still pitching, and they juiced the bases and they couldn't get it done. Chapman closed it out. You got some help from the defense, obviously, but that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I don't feel any remorse for the Yankees, though.
No.
Ever.
I prefer. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but because people will say the Yankees, they roll in the playoffs. But I kind of want the Yankees to beat Boston.
Pick your poison
Why?
between those two.
Yeah.
So you
fair
can see
enough.
the Jays smoke the Yankees?
Would they? They're in for a battle, whatever.
Either or team will be difficult.
Yeah.
That's not the point.
I just want to see the Jays conquer the evil empire.
Legit.
Boston or New York, because they're both.
I don't
both
consider
evil.
Boston the evil empire.
Really?
I don't.
Really?
I watched that.
Are you kidding me?
I watched that documentary on Netflix. It changed my whole outlook.
We're talking about Boston here.
Yeah.
I'm
fans
well
have
aware.
lost it.
I know the fans have lost it. We're just talking about the team. I watched the Netflix. I think it's a Netflix documentary on the Boston World Series runs.
Okay.
To me, it flipped the whole. Like they seemed at that particular time when they were winning those World Series, they were like a fun-loving, hardworking, like partying team, and the Yankees were like this stuffy, like white collar, like we're gonna put our nose up to you type team.
They've been like
'Cause
that for 100 years.
That's when they had A-Rod and Jeter and all those guys, and then Boston was like the other guys. So ever since I watched that, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take my foot off the gas with Boston. There's not as much to me as like I hate to see them. I'd love to see them lose type team. Now,
Okay.
if they play the Jays, I'm all in with the Jays. So
I don't care if they
That's
beat
all.
the Jays or not. I really don't. I have no like
you don't care.
affiliation to the Toronto Blue Jays. It's nice when people here are happy about it, but the Jays lose. It's like, oh, that's too bad.
I don't like that take at all. And I know I was like talking a lot about the Mets. I guess they did not do well, but being the highest paid players. But I do want the Jays to advance. It is something that like it does bring the country together, just like the Raptors. And it's something that I like find that my relationships blossom when the Jays are winning, because
Really?
people are happy. My cousins and I are not toxic with each other. Now we want to like go to Toronto or wherever the away game will be. You know, like now we're planning trips, and I can rock my Jays gear. Like, let's
Lovely.
go. Yeah,
Yeah. No, I don't feel any of that.
you are dead inside.
I'm not denying it. I just don't feel that way. It's like, oh, that's great. They won. All right.
Oh, that's so good.
People are happy. I'm happy that they're happy.
I like it, like at work or at the gym. Like everybody's kind of like, oh, watching the game. It's on and just brings you together.
It does bring the
Yeah.
the country together. Still laughing at you. It does. Like when the Raptors went on that run in 2019, like everybody was watching the Raptors.
It was exciting.
It was exciting.
I
And
did watch it.
Yeah, like every bar you go to, every restaurant you go to, they turn the game on. It just, to me, and this is going to sound very, very crazy, but Toronto deserves this.
The Blue Jays fans deserve this.
Thank you.
Let's watch our language.
Thank you. I know.
I have no
Toronto
comment.
Toronto doesn't
Nothing
deserve
to say
anything.
about that.
I totally disagree with you. That just
C
sucks.
run. I love this one. I hate everything about Toronto except the Jays and Raptors. Outside of that,
Shoot.
Speaking of Canadian baseball, did you catch the preview or trailer for the Netflix series Who Killed the Expos?
yes,
I am fascinated by this.
yes.
I'm looking forward to watching the documentary. It's coming out soon, I believe. And not that I was like an Expos fan, because, like I think Reed loved the Expos, and there's a bunch of people that still have their affinity for the Expos. I know Low Tide loves them, and he could tell you about like the 1971 spring training for the Expos off the top of his head. But I remember how the demise of the Expos went, because there was nobody showing up. They had 94. Obviously, we had the lockout, the strike in baseball, and that ruined their chance at a World Series. And then it was just a steady decline for the Expos. I remember by the end of it, there was like 4,000 people for a game at Olympic Stadium, and they had to play some of their home games in the Dominican Republic. It was so bad. Olympic Stadium was literally crumbling, and then they moved them to Washington, obviously. And there's a connection to Edmonton, because the last year of the Trappers,
That's right.
the Expos was their MLB affiliate, and then both teams left Canada the next season in 2005. So, yeah, it's interesting. I'm curious to see, 21 years after they moved to Washington, what went down and how people view it now.
Yeah, I wonder if it would be a similar situation to. Did you watch the Vancouver Grizzlies one?
No.
That was a very interesting one as well. I think that one was the ESPN 30 for 30.
Okay.
But they documented what happened with the Grizzlies, and it's just a calamity of errors and just dumb decisions, and one of obviously a big one that hurt them was Steve Francis when I think he was first overall, and he's like, I'm not going there. And so then they interviewed him, and he's like, in hindsight, he's like, I probably shouldn't have done that, blah blah blah. But it was very, very fascinating because it was just like there were so many different things that happened behind the scenes that just made it crumble. But the exact same time, weren't they a better team than what Toronto was for a short portion
Toronto
of that?
was pretty crappy for a while.
Toronto was awful.
Yeah.
But they just kind of persevered and they kept going, and obviously they blew up to what they are now. But the Grizzlies, there was something there. And the Seattle Supersonics were gone, or they were about to leave.
That was
like
right around the same time. Supersonics
right?
left what, 07, 08?
Something like that, yeah. So then if they could have endured, like all those Seattle fans are probably going to Vancouver to watch that team anyway. You would have had your team, and you would have had a viable franchise if they could have persevered. But now they're in Memphis, and here we are. And they don't even want to be there. Exactly. They don't even want to be there either.
Right.
So.
Just wanted to quickly fill you guys in. 11 o'clock is going to be the first game today for MLB. It'll be, so the Tigers and the Guardians. The Guardians are favored. Then the Padres and the Cubs at 1 o'clock.
Ooh.
The Cubs are favored. So that could also, the Cubs could just shut them down today and win.
Is that the play-in?
Yeah.
No, or is that the 3-game series?
That's a 3-game.
Yeah. Did they get rid of the play-in? I can't remember.
Okay, it is 3-game, right?
Okay. Best of 3 right now.
So it's the Red Sox and Yankees at 4 o'clock, and Yankees are favored for that one. And then at 7, your 7 o'clocker, which is to me, I think.
Doyers?
Was that?
The Doyers?
Yeah. See.
I watched the Doyers last night.
Well, they dominated, and they're obviously
they
favored today too. So I don't know if that's. I mean, you could see Ohtani rip it up. But,
well, he had 2 solo bombs last night, and Teoscar Hernandez had one as well. It's funny because Dodger Stadium's cool. I know people that have been out there probably know what this means, but when they were up big on the Reds last night, you could see people were leaving, and especially right behind home plate. They're beating the traffic because it's so hard to get in and out of Dodger Stadium. It is. That's the one thing that sucks about that Chavez Ravine and that stadium. So late arriving, early to leave. I started laughing. I'm like,
does LA suck?
Does LA?
Does the city of LA suck?
I don't love it.
I had this conversation with a buddy of mine, and he was just like, LA sucks.
Miami's the same to me as LA.
Yeah.
You have to drive everywhere. It's far away. But once you get somewhere, it's amazing.
Yeah, because people, go ahead.
I haven't gone to LA yet, believe it or not. That's the one destination I have not, because I keep hearing about how much it sucks. But
it's because it's just a hassle everywhere you go.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people would view LA as like the hills, like Beverly Hills, but it's not
Hollywood.
that, right? Hollywood, like I think there's a perception that that's what it looks like all the time, but it's not.
No. No.
It's not at all.
Yeah.
And that's why I will go there. Just all my friends have gone there multiple times. So
it's the population of LA and greater area of the metro is huge.
Yeah.
But the traffic sucks. It's a pain in the ass. There's crime. There's everywhere.
Yeah, but then you get to catch the Lakers. Like there's got to be.
Oh yeah, that totally justifies all of that.
You get to watch the Clippers.
For
Kawhi got to play 82.
Yeah. Kawhi didn't do anything, by the way. He said he didn't do anything.
I know you didn't do anything, Kawhi.
You just accepted a lot of money. They're like,
sat there and didn't do anything.
Like, plant one tree, man.
Did you do any services for that? Well, I think I fulfilled my contract. I don't know. I'd have to look. I'd have to ask. It's like, okay, I think they're busted, but they're welcoming this investigation, so we'll see where it goes.
Well, of course, Kawhi didn't do anything. He sat on his
literally
couch.
didn't do anything. He just signed the deal.
Money. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to buy a yacht.
Yeah, probably.
Right? The best life.
Why not?
By the way, I think people are shocked that I haven't gone to LA yet. I will go. I am going to Man Diego, though, in
Man Diego
in December.
Okay. Edmontarian says,
Tell us.
what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of this? For the ALDS, the Yankees are blocking ticket sales to Canada. My dad texted me about this, and it is
what?
true.
Okay.
If the Yankees play the Blue Jays.
That's just, they always do that. Even in the
Smart.
NHL, they always
Smart.
do that. And then you're just
You can.
paying secondary market prices.
I
How
love
do you
it.
love it? Like,
Love every second of
so
it.
unfair. Everything is so expensive. Like,
Love
STFU,
it.
buddy.
Love it. Because the problem
do you really
is,
feel?
is that Canadian fans travel well. So if I'm the Yankees, for example, and the Blue, I know that my tickets are potentially cheaper than what they might be in Canada. Well, guess what? I'm going to lock them down because I don't want you here. Because the our Blue Jays fans will literally run that stadium. It's the greatest thing ever. Actually, so when I was playing in Europe, teams would do the same thing, but they would give you a section, but the section would be the nosebleeds in one corner of the stadium. So like in Mannheim, we were like 15,000 seat building. You'd get 2,000 seats maximum up in the top, and that's the only place you could sit.
That's what they did to the Elks fan bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Man Stadium.
It's the only place you can sit.
Yeah.
So you're amongst all your buddies, all your friends, all the other, fans of that particular team.
Yep.
You cannot be in the lower bowl. It's not open to you. Up there, go. Thought it was hilarious.
I see your point of view, but as a Canadian, I can't.
Thought it was
stand
hilarious. Because, like, you know how it goes. In North America, there's so many tilts because people you sit back, I'm a Yankees fan, you're this fan, and then we just chirp each other, and then we're drinking about 400 beers, and then all of a sudden we're coming to blows for absolutely zero reason. It happens.
The Canadians are going to pay the price. They're going to pay it. They're going to go.
Yeah.
Because there's so many fans out there that are like, they're just dicks. And it's like,
Okay.
like, hey,
All right.
I want to wear an Oiler jersey to Calgary. I'm well within my right to wear an Oiler jersey
And they
to
do wear
Calgary,
them.
and they do. But then you got the Calgary fans that are just like, you win a game and you're walking out of the stadium. In my opinion, this is where I draw the line. You get to chirp me 3 times. Say what you need to say.
Oh.
After that, done.
You have a rule of thumb.
Rule of thumb.
Okay.
But when you just like absolutely eviscerate me for the entire time we're walking out, at some point, some pride kicks in.
Like you want to
And
throw
you're
it
also
down?
you're also liquor fueled, and you're like,
Yeah.
man, and then you tell the guy off, and then he says something, and then you go back at him,
Yeah.
and then here we are.
Here you are, YEG wave.
The worst. Ugh, God.
But you know what I mean? Like it's
I
just
do know what you mean.
it's ridiculous.
I know. It reminds me of the time in Calgary when I was riding down the elevator from press level to event level for post game. And this sweet old lady was reading her book, listening to the game on the radio inside the elevator. And she said, "You're an Edmonton media." And I said, "Yes." And she goes, "It's not anywhere near as bad as when Vancouver's here. Edmonton and Calgary fans, they get into it. But whenever Vancouver comes to Calgary, there's always a lot of fights." And I said, "Hey, that's funny because whenever Vancouver is in Edmonton, there's always a lot of fights, more than when Calgary is around." And she goes, "I wonder why that is." I'm like, "Well, we have one common denominator here, and that would be Jazzy." Vancouver fans.
Vancouver fans. I thought you were going to make fun of me.
No,
Okay.
I'm just. You
I thought you meant Jazzy. Like,
do you think
because
that's
of the
all we
No.
do? Do you think that's all we do, Jazzy? Just make fun of you?
You love the attention.
Oh, yes. Don't I? Be the only girl here, That helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you hear about visa issues with the U.S. government being shut down?
In what way? Like,
Okay, so I believe there's going to be some visa issues because the U.S. government's going to be shut down. So in 2018, there was a few guys from the Canucks practice that couldn't come because they couldn't get U.S. visas when the government was shut down. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the government shut down at
it was
midnight.
supposed to be last night. Was
Yeah,
the
that's
deadline.
right. And this could cause some issues with them
Well,
coming in for regular season.
okay.
Yeah.
One of the nasties, Taylor from Indiana. She's Canadian, but is becoming a doctor in the U.S.
Good
I
for
saw
you.
her visa it expired, so she had to come back to Canada while she waits for it to be renewed. Is that so? She would be affected by that.
I believe
imagine?
so. And
Okay.
this is what the NHL players are going to be affected with this as well.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of that.
Yeah, so look out for that.
Yee.
Yeah. I know you guys would love talking about you toxic Calgary Flames and Canucks fans, but
Well, we get to talk about that on Hello Hockey Saturdays from 10 to noon.
oh yes, you guys are back. It was nice
back.
to see you.
We had a
Having
good show.
a coffee on Saturday. Yeah.
Pagnotta with dropping the hint about you want to talk about improving the team for McDavid.
So finish that.
I read. I shouldn't do this, but I read the comments, especially when like one of our clips, because we get good information, and Dave's one of the better insiders in the NHL. And someone replied, "This guy doesn't know what he's talking about." And I just sat there. I'm like, should I just reply? Well, he gets like 98% of his stuff right, or just leave it. I'm like, just leave it. Just leave it. Go ahead.
So it's 6:10 a.m. I get a message from a buddy, and my buddy, I like to call him a rat. I like to call him a troll because that's exactly what he does.
Do I know this buddy?
You do.
Okay.
He does troll things, and he's got rat-like tendencies. So huge news, insider info. Stan Bowman is going to try to make the team better at some point this season. That's what he texted me.
That's
and
a
I'm
rat.
like,
That's a rat text.
It's such a rat text.
You are a rat, whoever
especially
you
at
are, Bellezy's
6:10 a.m.
Was it Bax?
No, it wasn't
First
Bax.
thing.
And I'm just like, if you watch the video,
Watch it before commenting.
there was some breadcrumbs that were dropped.
Yes.
And Gooby actually messaged me. He DM'd me and was like,
Gooby, all right.
he's like, oh, this was so vague. It's almost like he knows something, but he can't say it.
Yeah, it's
And I'm
called
like,
it's called a teaser.
if you look at the video and you see our faces, we're all like,
Yeah. I love people that just reply to the headline or the title and don't listen or watch. And
right.
it's like, okay. I can't help
so
you.
then I just said, I'm like,
can't
you can
help
listen to our breadcrumbs or you can listen to other takes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the whole text. And he goes, oh, yeah? Well, he goes, I'm also hearing that the Oilers will get offered Vasilevsky with salary retention for Josh Brown. They may consider doing the trade.
Who is this Don? Which one of your donkey friends is this?
You know what? I said, it's far too early for this nonsense. And he just laughs.
I would like, can you show me? Of course.
Like, you're such a troll.
You're a rat. Anyway, Jazzy, what do you got? We got 10 more, no, 14 more minutes.
I got a few things. I wish I could talk about the Big Brother finale. I won't until I'm with Maddie because I would love to discuss that.
Yeah,
I know these
that's
two
amazing.
are gonna,
Yeah.
and I want to like utilize the time properly. Bro, I don't know why. I mean, I still do with Maddie. I utilize it
Yeah, I
properly.
know.
WestJet will no longer have reclining seats.
What?
Tough. That's tough.
Did you guys hear
No,
about this?
no, actually, it's not tough.
What's that?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's for the economy class or whatever, like the lowest one.
No more. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it stops fights from happening. Because people, they recline their seats all the way back. Sometimes there's not enough leg room. And so if I'm sitting there like this and I'm trying to do it and I'm taking my tray off the knees, I sometimes go, I don't really like this. Now, I'm not the person that's going to be like, hey, move your seat up.
Right.
I won't.
Yeah,
Like,
because you're entitled to that.
he or
Recline.
she's entitled to that incline or recline.
Yeah.
However, there's got to be a little bit of like, when I'm walking onto the plane and I see a person that's a larger person sitting there, there's got to be a little bit of the brain that turns on. Like, hopefully you charge it at night and it goes, you know what? I'm not going to do that today. I'm 5'3". I don't need to recline right now.
I'm 5'3".
And do you recline?
I do not recline.
That is very courteous
I
of you.
do not because of courtesy, because I know how hard. Yeah, thank you. I really do consider it all the time.
But a lot of people don't. A lot
Yeah,
of
I
people
know.
could care less. Now, once again, they're well within their right to not care less because they purchased that seat.
Yeah.
But it's just sometimes being just a nice person.
But listen, the airlines with these planes, they've taken so much space
know.
away
Yes.
and they cram more
Yeah.
people in a tight space. It's very annoying.
Did you
But it's
see
only
what they're
for the
trying to
economy
do though?
class.
Have you seen some of the new like renderings and like stuff on Twitter where they're talking about like the 2-tiered economy where it's like one seat's above and then the one's behind?
I've seen that. I know what the world.
If they come out with that,
Yeah. But whatever, that would be, I don't know, in the States, I don't think, or like Europe, I'm not too sure.
no,
But I
that
know
would happen here for
Canada, it's
sure.
like,
you
you
know
know,
that would happen.
getting ripped off here no matter what. So
That would be the most insane thing in the world. And the first thing that you immediately think of is that greasy person on the flight
There's a
that
lot
says,
of them.
you know what? I don't care if I have a little flatulence.
what the hell?
The person behind me is going to eat
And the
this part.
person behind me is right in line with my cheeks. And I'm going to let one go. And they're going to know what I had for dinner last night.
Oh, shoot.
Damn, Bellezy.
That's gross.
Is that onion? Because if they do that two-tiered system, that's what's going to happen.
Ugh.
I just feel bad that the economy now, it's like the people are trying their best to fly or get somewhere to visit family, go watch a game and stuff, and it's just they can't catch a break. So like you have to
we
upgrade,
get
yeah.
raked over the coals on
Yeah.
mobile services, cable,
Yeah.
and airlines here in Canada.
Everything.
It's brutal.
And now this whole thing with like you saying that the Yankees are gonna stop sales for Canadians. like,
Chris
it's
P,
just
by the way, speaking of
Mm-hmm.
that, says the Blue Jays have also blocked non-Canadian fans from buying playoff tickets, apparently.
Yeah, take that.
Boom.
Take that.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boom.
Okay, so I just want to also tell you guys a quick review. I started the show yesterday on Disney Plus. It came out yesterday as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Chad Powers. I'm sure you guys seen the ads for it.
Right, yes.
With the quarterback that wants to, I guess he was an ex-quarterback and now he like puts on a mask.
Yeah.
And then he goes for tryouts. They released 2 episodes of it yesterday, both. They're 40 minutes each. Really funny.
Yeah?
Yeah, I laughed out loud.
It's with Buddy
Glenn-
from Top Gun.
Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the projects he's doing. This guy is crazy. Like, does he sleep? He's really funny in that one, though, because I know some people are kind of sick of seeing him.
Yeah. He's good. This is a good
Yeah, I
It's a
thought it was
football
funny.
show.
The writing was good. There was humor. It's funny. It's good. It's a good watch. So I definitely want to
That's
recommend
Netflix?
That is Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't
Yeah.
have Disney.
I thought it was a movie, to be honest, but then I was
it's
like,
a
oh,
series?
It's a series. Yeah.
Okay. We have 10 minutes left. Less than. So let's get to over under. Brought to you by Play Alberta. Use your game sense if you're just putting a little sprinkle on some MLB action today. Let's go to baseball for today's over under. So, like Jazzy outlined, you got the Guardians and Tigers at 11. Cubs hosting the Padres at 1. Yankees get the Red Sox at 4, and then we close out the night with Los Dodgers versus the Reds. You got LA, Boston, Chicago, and Detroit leading their series. These are best of threes. Over under at 2.5 series get finished tonight.
Ooh.
Or today,
Yeah.
considering one starts in 20 minutes.
2.5, you said?
2.5.
Let's go with the over.
So you think 3 series wrap up?
Yeah.
Under.
Under? Okay. We're getting a bunch of game 3s. Mm-hmm. How many?
3.
3 game 3s. All right. I think I'll take the over.
Yeah, I think the 3-game series are really hard.
I know.
Like you get that first one, like that other team is going to come out with all the desperation they possibly have. But if you as a team that's up can weather that storm and keep things, relatively close or get ahead, the other team usually crumbles.
I guess so.
Okay, I'll go Boston wins,
too.
LA wins, and
I think the Yankees one is going to go to a game.
you
3.
think we'll?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Boston, and then I'll say the Cubs close it out, and I say Guardians Tigers goes 3.
Okay. Yeah, so 2.
Yeah, that's my take for Play Alberta over under. All right, 7 minutes left.
Simpsons movie is coming out July 2027.
Another one?
Yeah, but it's been correct me if I'm wrong, 20 years, 21 years, something like that since the last one.
I thought we were done with
Okay,
this.
or
Simpsons,
yeah,
but okay.
never mind. Scream 7 is coming out
Oh my
February,
Oh, jeez.
just in time for Valentine's Day, 2026.
Beautiful date night.
Okay, the last but not least, this topic I really want to talk about.
Okay.
Bad Bunny is the halftime show at the Super Bowl. What are your guys' thoughts?
I'm gonna have to listen to some Bad Bunny to
Bad
figure out who
Bunny
he is.
is one of the biggest artists right now.
International superstar.
Yes, but doesn't have many English songs.
No.
He was in
So-
Happy Gilmore too.
That's,
He's the
yeah,
caddy.
he's an
Yes, he
actor
was.
as
Very
well.
funny,
Very good
yes.
point. Yeah.
So from
was in
star, from
WWE.
star power, like he is massive. He's massive. But when it comes to the English side of speaking in songs, like he's not there. Now, what it basically says to me is that, the NFL is trying to target a whole different market. and
Latin
they're trying to-
America, yeah.
they're trying to bring Latin America into the NFL to bring more fans and more
Absolutely.
attention to their product.
Why not? You have games in New Mexico.
So if you have
Or Mexico
exactly,
City, sorry,
so
yeah,
if you
yeah.
have that big of a star
Yeah.
coming in, then that's a perfect way to bring those eyes
Mm-hmm.
to the game. Now, with that being said, you have a whole other side of the fan base who has never heard one of his songs.
Fair.
And so when it comes to
probably have.
the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
I think it's a bad decision.
Wow.
I do.
Bad decision?
I do, because you know how this is going to go. You know how it's going to go. They're all going to, he's going to get on stage. He's going to do his best songs. Not one person's going to understand or listen to that particular song. Then they're going to walk away and they're going to be like, oh, what did you think of the halftime show? I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't feel anything because I didn't know the songs. That's how it's going to go.
I understand what you're saying. I think it's gonna be more of like the head bob and dancing because his beats are pretty sick. But then you could argue
There'd
the
be
same.
head bobs for you. There'd be head bobs for me.
As there should
Because
be.
I've heard those.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a ton of people in that building that they don't know what that is.
I don't know if I agree with you on that one. I think that even if they're listening to it for
You
the
think
first time,
people
it's
from
gonna be
Alabama
pretty lit.
know who he is?
I think you care about Alabama.
Well, no, but my point is that like as much as I think that he's good and he's one of the biggest stars who will bring in a whole different set of eyes. I do think there's a large portion of NFL football fans from areas that do not care to listen to
But
him.
you could say the same thing as when
And
they got
that-
Kendrick Lamar. People were outraged.
Yeah, but at least people
and
can
people
sit
can't
back
rap
and
every single word that Kendrick does either
Yeah.
because he spits so fast.
he spits very fast,
Right?
but at least people can then turn around and say, well, I know what he's doing and I know what he's saying. There is still that divide in the States. That language barrier still exists down in the States and people care about that stuff.
For sure, I can't speak Spanish, but I am a fan of Bad Bunny.
Yep.
And to me, I thought it was an excellent choice. I think he's gonna put out an unreal show, and it is a business decision. They are targeting Latin America. Latin
Mm-hmm.
American culture is part of the United States of America.
Yep.
Very much so. The 31-year-old artist, born Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio,
Grammy
has won
winner.
3
Yeah.
Grammys
Yes,
and
he has.
12 Latin Grammys.
He's
He
unreal.
has.
He has become a global ambassador for Latin music, starred in films such as
Yep.
Bullet Train, Caught Stealing, and Happy Gilmore 2, and collaborated with top fashion houses. He'll enter the Latin Grammys as the leading nominee with 12, dethroning producer and songwriter Edgar Barrera.
He is like one of the biggest international stars going right now.
I'm looking forward to it.
So
I'll give you guys like a hot take. Maddie's not here, so you can't tell me to not do it. But it's like nobody wants your crusty dustiness of like Metallica going. That is not the audience, okay? Sorry, we don't want your old school rock. Move on. We want what's hot, what's in, and what we can all dance to, okay?
Yeah, like the Killers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to.
I know you
if Eric's watching.
I love it. I don't disagree with you because there is you're trying to. It's a younger generation you're marketing it to. You're trying to bring new eyes. You're trying to do all those things that the CFL should be trying to do.
They're
That's a
trying.
whole different conversation.
They're trying.
So you bring Bad Bunny in. He links so many different things together.
He's lots of features too.
Yeah, he's got tons.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, once again, it's the NFL Super Bowl. And no matter how much we can sit here and like it and say, man, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
There is a whole side of a fan base in the NFL.
I know.
That are going to sit back and go, why is he the guy?
They did the
This
same thing
sucks.
last year. Whatever.
That was a
my
good.
point.
That was a good halftime show
It
last
was
year
a
with
great
Kendrick.
halftime show. And I'm telling you, mark my words, today, October 1st, on the Smoky Day, it will break the record for the highest viewed Super Bowl halftime show.
It's on the record. Bad Bunny will be hosting SNL this weekend.
This is right.
Yeah.
See?
And he,
Yeah.
if you're like, why can't they get an American artist?
why can't
Puerto
they get
Rico,
American?
where he's from, is an American territory.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Thank you for that.
Can you do that accent again?
why can't they get an American artist?
Because that's what's going to happen on that show.
He is American.
He's
From Puerto
American.
Rico,
Yeah.
which is a
Guys.
territory
Yeah.
of the United States of
I
America.
think people like, I love this one. I love Bad
I don't
Bunny.
mind
so
it. I like new stuff like that.
I'm all good.
Yeah.
But it's just, there's a lot of other people that are in this world that don't want to hear anything other than the old English language.
Yeah,
being said.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
That's all I'm trying to
Open
say.
up. Like, you guys got to stop
I'm
being
fully
so
on board.
American.
I am fully on board because what's Chris Rock say? Because if the beat's all right, she will dance all night.
I like that. Anyway, so Bad Bunny's performing. If it was like Sabrina Carpenter, I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
interesting choice.
Right.
Why?
Well, remember, they looked at Adele, they looked at Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
Like, those are great choices as well. I think Bad Bunny's a great choice too.
Sure.
Like, let's just be open-minded, everybody. Like, stop being angry and think about, this is also a business decision. So,
Yeah.
Sure.
yeah, whatever. It'll be fun. I promise you, you may not know the words, but you guys are going to see an amazing stage, amazing performance, and, you're going to bob your head and, you're going to
Yeah,
dance. You're going to
yeah,
dance.
yeah.
Just give it a chance. Yeah.
You're gonna dance.
gonna
Just
dance.
give it a
can
chance. Okay, we're out of time.
I like that. You're going to dance. Just give it a chance.
Jazzy, what's coming up? Are you joining us one more time this week, or is
No,
it,
I'm not, because we had a short week this week.
Yeah, that's
but I will be here next week. I don't know when. I'll look at the schedule. We'll see
Yeah,
you guys
please
next
do.
week, though.
Maddie's back next week, so
Oh, he's off his vacation.
that's
Just
right.
staycation right now.
What a
Staycation.
life.
All right, Bellezy, what's going on with you? We're gonna be back this Saturday. You can announce who's joining us. It's gonna be a great show on Saturday.
Oh yeah, Dan Neer, who is the commissioner of the WHL.
Yes.
Very excited to have him on because there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to that junior hockey world. And, down at U18, I got to give a shout out to my team, by the way, because as I got off the ice, one of the guys was like, Bells, you going to do your pod? And another guy was like, hey, it's a radio show.
It is.
So shout out to Ryder Forrester
Smart.
because that's who he was the guy that defended it.
Yes.
And then he's like, I'm going to listen to your show. So I got to
that.
give him a shout out. But we have games this weekend. Looking forward to some game action. It'll be good. So
Excellent.
that's what I got.
Dan Neer, WHL commissioner, will be joining us on Hello Hockey, as well as our insider David Pagnotta, Saturdays 10 to noon. Looking forward to that. Good show, you guys. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. that's fun.
Yeah, it was good. Lots of sports today. And thank
Lots.
you, Oilers, for doing something for the fan base.
Connor Ingram's an Oiler.
Yeah.
Rejoice. And the crowd went wild. Yay.
Yay.
More of that on the oil string coming up at
All day long.
Yeah, yay. Coming up at noon. Right now, it's the Lock Shop following our closing of this fantastic edition of the EST Hangout. For Jasmine and Bellezy, I'm Tom saying thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Hit that thumbs up if you watched on YouTube. The Lock Shop next. Ciao for now.
Let's go.
There you go. Right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Tom Gazzola with here joining us today.